understand. It was a massive and truly ambitious field school enterprise. Pyramids to be mapped, excavated, and drawn with meticulous attention to detail. The logistics involved in outfitting and running large crews of skilled workmen, tons of architectural fill moved, thousands of artifacts recovered and inventoried, and in the midst of all of this, students who needed to be handled, shaped, molded. We worked hard for weeks on end. Though it may have felt like a grind to us at times, there was learning afoot. And this was no accident. Joe and Jen had a method, I'm convinced. One that distilled our actions into something essential and wholly purposeful. As our world contracted, our minds expanded in ways that were not immediately apparent. Uncovering the past, we were uncovering the past on a grand scale. We were doing something extraordinary, peeling back the layers of an ancient society. And through all of this, we proceeded with very, very small, thoughtful actions. Joe and Jen would have us do repetitive tasks, so repetitive, so many tasks, the value of which we were too impatient or too immature to appreciate. Reminds me now of Karate Kid, you know, wax on, wax off. Maybe it would take a full day to comprehend the purpose of a particular routine. Maybe it would take a full decade. These moments still come to me in the lab and in the field when I accomplish something with surprising ease. Oh, why sensei Joe? It was not until the summer of 1997, 6 years after field school and in the midst of my third season as a graduate field research, that it all started to sink in. And as strange as it sounds, my epiphany involved trapping gophers. At the time, I was living in a thatched hut in a remote Maya village in the northeastern corner of the Yucatan Peninsula. There were 3 of us grad students, each involved in our own individual archaeological projects. And most late afternoons, we decompressed with a tepid glass of rum and watched the shadows grow long outside our front door. But we couldn't help but notice, fairly often, a group of young boys would emerge from the jungle and stroll past our hut carrying a half a dozen dead gophers. Well, when we finally got around to asking them for an explanation, we were told that dinner would soon be served. Really? I knew that meat is something of a luxury in the small Maya village. But were they so hard up that we're sending kids out?